If you truly could envision where IT was as simple as going to the App Store, right, and you were able to, right, literally say, oh, what do I want to do, and be able to have that level of provisioning. But when you've done it, right, think about, right, I haven't just loaded a little applet to run on my iPhone or my Android phone, but I've enabled this rich set of interconnected services, that may come off of HIPAA-compliant infrastructure or PICS-compliant infrastructure that are orchestrating complex, big data scale-out databases that are able to access, right, both data sources behind the firewall as well as publicly available, being able to compose those applications and deliver those for business needs, right, as simply and rapidly, right, as I provision a little applet on my phone. And that to us is what IT as a service is about. And as soon as the business user does that, he says, oh, I have another idea, right? Oh, I have a user with another demand. And all of business itself, if we've done this, turns into service providers for their customers, right? Because they become service brokers for their customers as well.
The more automation we can get into the system and remove that friction, to your point, between the consumers and producers of IT, the closer we can get of this vision of IT as a service and the vision that we're driving towards of having 100% of the data center virtualized into the future. If you go and talk to most of our customers and ask them today if they've simplified the delivery of compute and resources and infrastructure, I think they'd all say yes, and they've seen a dramatic increase in the number of virtual machines a system administrator can support in a virtualized world versus a physical world. So we have radically dropped the OpEx cost to deliver compute services. With that being said, there are still some other challenges in IT when it comes to networking and when it comes to storage. It's still a very manual process to configure and provision, hardware components. And we believe the way to continue to drive OpEx savings for our customers is exactly what Pat announced yesterday and we showed today with some of these management and automation tools. So you provision that virtual machine, it doesn't have to go through the assembly line to get all of the network services. You're going to do it at time of virtual machine provisioning. And all of this integration that I spoke about earlier is what's going to drive a significant reduction in OpEx because it will allow the line of business or the individual to get access to IT services without having to go through a help desk and to create a trouble ticket. That is all the benefit will bring to IT, and the recipient of that will be the line of business because they'll be much more agile to get access to services. So this is an evolution. This isn't something that happens revolutionary and happens overnight. We think the same things we've done for compute will leverage into network and storage, and with this automation it will drive the next level of innovation for IT and get them out of just keeping the lights on. That's where we think we're going.